Here are 4 languages you should learn as an American plus 1 bonus one. The first and most obvious one is English. Living in the United States without knowing English is the equivalent of running a race without legs. If you compete against other legless people, you'll be alright. However, compared to people who do have legs, navigating the task at hand will be a little more challenging. And the analogy falls apart when you realize that people can't grow legs. Spanish is very obviously the second most spoken language in the United States, with over 42 million households speaking Spanish. Knowing this language will be sure to give you friends and resources that you would not have had access to otherwise. And things are sure to get hot in a Latina household because, as we know, Spanish is a romantic language. On a completely different note, are you considering traveling the world, or at least traveling to a country south of here? Well, you better know Spanish because 32 of the 33 countries south of the United States in the Americas speak Spanish. The only exception is of course Brazil, and they speak Portuguese instead of Spanish, and if you know Spanish, then understanding Portuguese will be a breeze. Knowing Spanish also guarantees that you'll have a job for the next 40 years, probably. And when I say job, I mean as a tutor or teacher. As it is evident, there are people coming into this country all the time from Spanish-speaking countries, whether it be by plane, by car, by the toss of their own mother. That is of course a joke. If they grow up here, they will learn English on their own. They don't need your help. Not only can you tutor, but you can also teach professionally. There are many high schools and middle schools across the country who are looking for Spanish teachers, because the turnover rate is very high. And yeah, I know that teaching Spanish at a high school or middle school isn't exactly everybody's dream job. The work hours are long, especially considering homework, the pay is meager, the environment is challenging. But on the bright side, knowing Spanish also means that you can translate for people. This is especially prevalent along the Mexico-United States border and also at airport TSAs. And the best part about Spanish is that it's very easy to learn. It only takes about 600 hours to learn, which isn't that bad for a new language. Plus, it is very similar to English with similar sentence structure and many conjugates. Nation is nación, creation is creación, and you get the idea. Unfortunately, Mandarin Chinese is not so easy to learn. However, I believe that learning Mandarin Chinese can be very useful in the future. Mandarin Chinese has the most native speakers out of any language in the world, making it very valuable to have in your back pocket. This language in particular is good to know for when Xi Jinping takes over the world and you need to convince the Chinese people that you're one of them. Jokes aside, if you're doing business, or you're in a business, or you have a business, knowing Mandarin Chinese is very good to know because in the future, it is projected that China's economy will do very well, and there's a lot of business done in Mandarin Chinese. So if you want an extra leg up or any advantage among your competitors, knowing Mandarin Chinese could prove to be useful. Alongside this, China is a very beautiful and diverse country, so knowing Mandarin Chinese will get you wherever you need to go in China. So if you ever plan on vacationing there or living there, it would be something incredibly useful and valuable for you to know. Right now, Germany has the strongest economy in Europe. If you were to go live in Europe, there's a strong chance that you would end up in Germany, owing to solid infrastructure, strong culture, and great job opportunity. Alongside that, German isn't that difficult to learn as an English speaker. Both English and German come from the Germanic family, so their sentence structure will be pretty similar. Python is actually an incredibly useful language to know. It allows you to automate many tasks that would otherwise be tedious for yourself. For example, I had a friend who would set up a Python code to get into classes or get tickets before everybody else. I'm not saying it's ethical, I'm just saying it's something that you can do. It also allows you to understand your computer a little bit more, and any chance you get to work with a computer or technology is wonderful, considering that understanding how technology works and how to use it makes you very valuable. And I also had a Spanish teacher. Her name was Mrs. P, and Mrs. P told me, and I'll never forget this, she told me that if you're good with computers, they'll give you the upgrades first. So that's another benefit. Like when they were putting new smartboards into our school, like when I was in high school, she was one of the first to receive the new smartboards because they knew she was good with computers. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in one of my other videos. Ciao.